Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's been a while that I have not a Facebook Live. My stick that I'm using is broken. Can't purchase one at the moment because I do not have the money. But I trust that God will help me through today in what I want to talk about. My charger. Yes, I know a lot of us have a deficiency in our life. We have discrepancy in our some situation that is in our lives, and I would love to help those who really need this help. I am not a professional, and if you need a professional help, I can also get you someone who will be gladly willing to help you through. Where did I put my charger? Oh, right in front of me. So it's good afternoon out of Zurich, and it's rainy outside, bleaky, gray on the top, but it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Glory to God. It's a beautiful day. There's a topic that has disturbed my mind for quite a number of years, and I would love to take my time to talk a little bit on it. There's a lot of topics that I'd love to discuss, but this one I just want to do it here. And now that my mind is pick up on it again, as something that I've seen happening around Zurich, and I also know that it happens in other countries, in other areas, not just Zurich alone, or say Stadt Zurich, because Zurich is very big, so Stadt Zurich. So I'm waiting a little bit to see who will join up with me, and I really need your opinion. That means this topic is that you write in if you understand what I'm really getting at. If you do not understand, write in at the bottom also too and said, lady, I don't know what you are talking about, but just help me so I can help others to do this and even to help yourself. I like to get comfortable when I discuss such topic, because I challenge myself on a daily basis of how I do things. So I don't try to do things. I do things. Because I've tried for many years and all my trying failed me, and even some of the things I'm still trying, they are still failing. So I'm impulsive. I like to do things. And for many of you would have asked, oh, I'm back in school. I'm back in school. Not the school that I wanted to go to. But because of certain circumstances, I'm not there this year. But I pray next year that I'll be in the school but I'm in a school. A friend of mine enrolled me in a school. And I must say, I enjoy it. If you want to know what kind of school, you have to inbox me for that one. I won't tell you on Facebook. But I am so happy. I thank God for your life. I thank God for the fact that you're here on the, what they call it, meta page. And many have slept last night, did not wake up for some reasons or the others. Let's not just get into that. There's a lot of things going on in my community back home, and I am so, it distraught my spirit so much. I don't understand, and it's going on around the world, but when it touched near to home, one feels it even the more, and it hurts me bad. I look at a generation of children. Before I go in, I just want to say, I look at a generation of children that grown up, and the guns have become the speeches that we use these days. We don't know how to argue, to have an argument, or to dialogue no more. And it pains me. It pains me. It pains me real bad. And to be honest, true, that I'm so touched by these things these days that it's not that I'm afraid to do a Facebook Live or a YouTube, no. I'm so touched deep within that it only brings tears to my eyes. Hi, Primrose, good morning. I'm Apostle Clark, or my planting apostle. You see, I've got to just give you your title, man. Woman, you make me feel alive watching your videos. It's not that there's not a lot of things out there to watch, but you see, when I see a garden, and a garden that blooms, and oh, woman, you have me all by yourself. Glory to God. You know, I'm so interested in by God. And when I see your videos, it's like I'm like, am I in the Garden of Eden, or I long to be in the Garden of Eden, or something about the Garden of Eden that touches me. Let me go into my topic this morning. My topic is about you're married. You're married. It's going to be deep, real deep. You're married. You take that person from your country and you bring that person to the country that you now live in, and they don't have the plans that you have. They have another plan. They even have a plan for your life you're not aware of, whether you're a man or woman. I'm not being biased. I'm talking the fact truth. You bring them over. Maybe as a man, you bring the woman to the country that you now reside in. You're a woman, you do the same thing. And they don't have the same plans you have. They have another plan. The other plan is to get what they want, not what we can build together. What they want, and so much that they will destroy your life. You bring them into your home. I know that you can say, oh, we're living in our country and it does happen to us and stuff like that. I'm talking about you migrate to another land, would be the same thing. And you bring this party over to you and they destroy you. They destroy you to the fact that you would commit suicide. But I don't want you to commit suicide. I don't want you to have a suicidal thinking. I don't want you to have that. I might look distant because I'm thinking, what's really going on with us these days? What causes God's people, my families, my brothers, my sisters, my uncles, my aunt, God's people to react in the way that they are doing today? I've read a lot through the Facebook, seen a lot through newspapers, and hear so many. And as being a minister, I have to also be mindful of the things I hear personally, so that I do not step into what people would say the everyday way of talking another person's business, but what is given in confidence. This is one of the things I'm very mindful of. I have to learn to talk the things if I'm given the permission to talk it. In the church world these days, it's not seen as a responsibility. You just hear it and your tongue just back against your teeth and your mouth open wide and you just push it out there. And this is what we have to learn to do. This has caused a lot of hurt. A lot of hurt that have destroyed people's life and has allowed the church to become a no existence, and it ought not to be. So what I'm talking about is in general about man and woman, not taking anybody's story to talk about this, but it's something that is out there. And if you have your eyes open and you can read, you will see it on an everyday level. A man brought a woman over to a land. And after he brought the woman over to the land, they consumed the marriage so that children are in the marriage. And then after a while, the woman's eye got open in such a way that she started to see other things. And then she started to learn the culture now of the land that she lives in, because maybe she had found somebody or people that were from their land. Or maybe she had had that before coming over, and now she followed the way life. I don't say wayward, I say way life. It's not a mistake. I'm saying it because I want you to get it, what I'm saying. Way life, not wayward life. Way life. And when I use the word way life, it can be anything. Maybe she come now and she never knew how to take a bus, these kind of buses or trams or trains, or she never saw enough water coming to the tap. When I use the word man, it's, don't get me wrong. I'm not basing on one person's theory. I'm just saying it on an old level. But I love to use the word man. That's just me. What I'm talking about, a woman or a man, is just a man. You mankind. That's what I grew up learning. I never hear they say you womankind. I heard the word you mankind. And the eyes open now. Maybe they can change the earstyles, the earpieces, or the clothes or whatever. And all of a sudden now, things become stagnant in the home. It wasn't stagnant when you first came in. Everything was okay. You were being treated right. You got on plane. You reached to the other side of God's planet. And now there is a problem. A lot of times, seeing that woman, and I'm saying so, man, woman, when I write, would say that the person is abusing them. I am a person that stands really strong when I see abuse. I am not a public advocate when one goes out there, but if I become your friend and I'm seeing that you're being abused, maybe if I was still back home in the island of Jamaica, by now they would have eradicated me a long time, because I do not like to see when injustice is being thrown over like it is nothing. Now in this scenario, what I'm bringing forth is that you bring over and the child is there because you consume the marriage. So a child or children are in the marriage. Then all of a sudden, the other party becomes a stagnant to the other one. The plans that were there when I brought you over, not knowing you have already had your own plans cooked up before you came over. And then you start to talk about abuse. In this country where I'm living, I know that when you are being abused, they have homes where the women can go to. A lot of times it is said that the women are being abused. But I've come to learn and to see and to, observe myself that woman can be a dominant figure in the house. And the man will not even lift his hand. And the woman will be crying out, wolf, wolf, wolf. And everybody around will believe the woman because women can inflict wounds upon themselves. Don't get me wrong and don't get me twisted. Men can do the same thing too to the woman. And I've seen scenarios what happens wherein woman is dominant and the man has no say. Can't even to cough, he has to ask for permission to cough. His face can't look anyhow. And I've seen on the other side also too, wherein men dominates the house so much that the woman, if she wants to do anything, rather have to ask for permission. So when I'm talking, don't say I am on one side. I'm just putting other theory out there because it's happening. And then a woman will sit down and abuse comes in many verbal, exactly, physical, emotion, both ways. And men are truly abused because of ego. They have not reported it. That is true. That is what I want to come to, And when a man goes to the police station to report that he is being abused in the house, just like women, the police would rather believe the woman in an instant, just like that, a jiffy, bam. And the police would come to the house and demand that the man leave the house. But in the case where it is the woman that is being abusing the man, a lot of times when the police would tell the man to leave, the woman would say, no, he's not going anywhere. He has to stay here. This is not a joke. This is a serious thing. We have homes for women that are being abused and saying that they are being abused by the men. We women are so times manipulative. We are argumentative. We can bring a story right out through the whole year. And sometimes don't even make a mistake in our stories. A man, you will find the commas, the T's missing, so you won't know if it's a L or a T. A man will even change his story 4 or 5 times. And a woman can bring that story for decades and never change the vowels in it. Well, this scenario, what I'm trying to bring to us is that in the home, don't always believe that it's only the women that are being abused. Men are also being abused. A woman can get up and talk to the man somehow because they've already planned their history before they come to this country, just like the man. You come over now and you get it and you think that, you thought you were coming to a better rose. And when you come, you still see thorns and thistles in the home. So you didn't come to say, okay, I'm coming to rectify the home and to make it become my palace. You came into the home and you saw that it was not perfect, and you decided to say, okay, it's imperfect, and you keep on throwing out that verbal in every situation. When the man or the woman brought you over, let me just use the terms man, because I'm tired of this woman, man. When the man bring you over, or the person bring you over, you didn't know the status, if they were working, how many money, but you saw the money when it comes to your country, and you saw the value of that money. in your country. So you thought that, okay, the person may not be Elon Musk, but he's somehow on the journey getting there. That's what you think. And then you reach over, you reach into the home, and you can't find the moss bottle, you can't find the pudding pan, you don't see the wash tub, and you cannot find the wash machine. So it's not in the home. So you become aggressive. We end up, as I said before, consuming the marriage, and we end up bringing the babies in. Those lovely babies. And then all of a sudden now, you find yourself become your home person. Oh, I didn't come to make money and to put it in your pocket. I didn't come to do this. And then there comes a problem inside of it. Men like women would orchestrate your downfall. Men like women, or women like men, will destroy your habitat. So if you had built something that was peace and tranquility, man or woman will come in and tear it apart. In this country where they have homes for women, some women will come here, and after a time they start to cry out, abuse, abuse. We say, wolf, wolf, wolf. And they have people here that will believe your theory so much that they will give you even a telephone to keep in your home, to listen to every conversation necessary in your home. So when you think that you don't have a surveillance camera in your home, you have a journalist in your home, because there's a television, there's a telephone, excuse me about that, there's a telephone putting down in your house that will listen conversation. I don't know if on the man term they would do that, but I know it can happen on the woman's side. And I'm not being biased. There are homes here, there are places here also for men. But a lot of men don't take it up. They tough it out and say, oh, they're the man. But let me tell you something, man on mankind on his own can deteriorate. You hear what I said? Man on mankind alone can deteriorate. That means because you do not stand up and say from day one and prove that you're not an abuser, in form and void, and everything that you think, to prove that you are not an abuser, you will be labeled for the rest of your life an abuser. You will be labeled as an abuser. The island where I'm coming from, abusers can be seen a lot of time because they can't hide. Because when a man on is nimbled, or the woman on is nimbled, she does the violent act out in the open, and she don't care. Her voice is loud. Her body language spells it out all. Likewise, the men. You can be at a place sitting down and someone sit beside you and you don't even know the person. But because you have a convo with that person, for those who don't know the word convo, it's conversation and chatting with somebody beside you. And your partner is coming from a distance or somewhere, or somebody see you talking to another person. You can have a real deal when you get home that makes a bad deal look like gold. In Jamaica, on a whole, a lot of men don't like even when they're wrong, you scold them with words and tell them that they are non-entity and they don't exist. And You know the words that I'm saying, you ladies out there and the men out there. And such things can cause you to be dead. Now I realize that Jamaicans has changed over the years since I've left Jamaica, and that your neck no longer stays on your body, and your body parts are dismantled, and your elements have been plastered to the wall, and the story goes on. When you live abroad, it does happen. When you live abroad, it does happen. Nowadays, we realize people can easily poison you and smiling with you. You can just get off the same bed together, and they will unload a Glock on you, and you're dead. Maybe if you're dead, but your soul stand up there looking at your dead body, and you do not know how you die. Marriage these days is a rocking oxen. When I see my friends who have been married for 20 years, 15, 16, 17, 18 years, 32 years, I am one who say I marvel at creation. I will use that terms. I marvel at creation. Because I ask myself at times, how did it not work for me then? How it worked for them? Somebody needs to give us the antidote of how it worked. Until I found myself now in a relationship that works. And trust me when I tell you, I push it to the brink, almost to the edge of a cliff, to see if what I thought was real, and I found it out to be real. People come in your life at different stages. Some come in different seasons. Some comes when you're at the brink of, we say, extradition. They're putting you out. And that's when that person turns up in your life. We say, like an expiring date. You have 2 days to be expired. And then all of a sudden, somebody found you, or you found someone. Why is it so that you can't, what has gone wrong with us that we can't reason together? Why do we have to loud our voice at each other? What causes us to, the German word was coming. What causes us to even betray each other's trust? And yet saying we are married. There's so many questions that I would ask. And I would really love to have a seminar where I could ask these questions to people. What causes you not to trust your partner? And not just for married couples. Not just for the married couple, because you have folks that live together for 50 years, but they have not gone before the priest or the minister to exchange a vow. And they have lived together for years. So it's not just for them who have gone before the minister to legalize what has already been legal. I'm talking about people who have lived together for decades. Never gone before. No, they never even gone to take communion together. But they have it all put together in some form. And now these young ones have come in, or still old ones, Because when I said young ones, if you hear some of them age, you realize they have been on the nail for a long time, hanging there. And then all of a sudden, someone found them, or maybe they were on a dating app and they found each other. Maybe they were passing by in the stores and they high catch together and it funked. We hear the words these days. Or you were sitting in the pew and then all of a sudden your eyes locked so much. And your heart began to race and you feel all the butterflies jumping all over the place. And you got together. Or maybe they were selling a bottle of something of a sort. And you were on the next bid to get in. He without sin cast the first stone. Don't get into my business, not into yours. And it got together. Now you come together. What causes you now not to trust? Where have you lack in communication within your union? And now you rather eradicate that person, uproot that person, and throw that person away like dung. They bring you over to give you a better life. And now you're in the home. You're crying out wolf. You know we can cry wolf for a long time. I love that storybook. You can cry wolf for a long time and the whole community will run out to your assistance. But each time you cry out wolf and they come and there is no wolf and the sheep are in order. The day when the wolf really comes in and you decided to cry out wolf, nobody will turn up to help you. Something I've learned for long years back. I think I was about 30. When it really drawn on me, I've learned it before, but when it really drawn on me. If you're in your home with your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your lover, your mate, your mate is, who knows within whom, and you're in your home, whether it's board, it's touch, it's nail up, it's bagasse, it doesn't matter, you're home. And you're talking in your home. Keep your volume down. And when I talk about your volume, you may not understand, your voice down. And reason with each other. That somebody passing by your environment, leaning on your home to listen to what you're saying in your house, may not be able to bring out the story. May even wonder what you're in your house discussing. Because when your volumes are too high, and then the wolf come into your house, you got a big problem there. Because nobody now will understand that there's wolf in your house. Because why your volume has always been high. When you laugh, you sound like we call the church bell or the rooster early in the morning. Because that's how your attitude is in your home. But if you learn to keep the volume down, when something happens in your home, others will know that something is wrong. Back to the theme. I bring you over. I change your clothing and try to help you to change your mindset. And now you come over, but you come over with a wrong agenda. Maybe your family has already told you, or when you go over, they try to milk the cow till the cow starts giving blood instead of milk. So you plan all that. But why bring in the children? Why bring in the children? It's rather you to say you're going all the time on birth control so that there's nothing in the union, because the children get hurt. The children get hurt. Now you are into a protective home. The children can't see their father or their mother no more. The children get hurt. Now somebody takes up a Glock and pull it, and the other party is gone. Somebody get hurt. A man can't manage the situation. You decapitate the head, or the woman pays an assassiner and assassinate the man, and somebody get hurt. Why do we have to come to this conclusion that nothing can be solved in dialogue? Why can't we say, okay, since we together can't solve the problem, let's find us a third party. Somebody that you don't know, I don't know, but neutral. And we bring them in. Or somebody that both of us know that we can respect and bring that person in. Why do we have to go to the latter method of hurting the other and destroying the homes? And more so when children are involved. You know how many times you have killed somebody because when the child is in the home, every argument murder that child. It takes away something out of that child. You've robbed the child of its security. The child becomes imbalanced, or the children become imbalanced. And they bring that with them to the latter end. So every relationship that they try to build, you have allowed yourself already to destroy the relationship your children or your child has entered in. Our aggressive way, our body language, our pumps and our pride have teared down this generation. It's one of the worst things. You live in a home with your own child and you become afraid of your child. You know why? Because it starts with you. The way how you handle the situation. The way how you disrespect yourself, you disrespect your partner. And the disrespect, it brings over to the children. Whether the children were yours or they were from the other party, you have destroyed lives. A lot of us out there, we are murderers. We have destroyed generation of cultures with our attitude. The way how we reason with someone else. The way how we talk about someone else, even in the presence of our children. You're on the phone, you're having a convo with a party on the other end of the line. You're talking about the spouse, and the children are there, the child is there. Or, who knows, a friend is there. So you're talking to another party about your relationship. Not saying that if the relationship needs help, you don't seek help. Not saying that if you don't know what to do, you can't ask a friend. But the moment you start to discuss your life with the person that doesn't live in the home with you, or you start to throwing out your aggressions on the other party, or you like too much of the wildlife, so you have to seek attention outside, then your home is a mess. Many of you like to know, where were you? Who did you speak to? What did you do there? Did you eat there? Who have you seen there? And thus, therefore, your home, you have wreaked havoc in your own home. Men are grieving and women are grieving. Men are being abused. Oh yeah. Men are being abused just as women are being abused. I am a woman. I'm standing for the woman. But I'm talking for the men also too. Because a lot of time we only hear of the woman being abused. Oh, it's woman abuse. And we have human rights activists out there standing for the women. But take a rain check of this. Do you see a lot of activists out there defending the men? Oh, they are machos. Oh, they can manage. Who told you that? A lot of men secretly are pining away on the inside, seeking for real love the same way our we ladies are out there looking for the real love. So we're hurting. In a hurting world, a dying world, even in the church. A lot of us lady goes to church and we are, whoops, hallelujah, whoops, hallelujah. But at home, we are not whoop, hallelujah. We're not hula whoop. We're a pit on its own element. Even pastors too. You're out there and you're trying to glorify the glorious. You have more tongues than Paul himself. But you're manipulators. Something that I also wanted to talk about, and somebody even put it today on Facebook. You become a pastor. You began to lead the children of God. But we can't trust you with our children. It's not just men, I'm talking about all of us. Can't trust you with the kids. I can't leave you in the room 2 minutes with any child. You're working in the hospital. I can't leave you 5 minutes with my mama. But in the church, you're hoops, hallelujah, hoops, hallelujah. The tensions are burning. And nobody do you anything. The same way you operate in the house. The same kind of wife that you acclaimed, or the husband you acclaimed to be. These are the people out there in the society that have wreaked havoc on our world. Inside, you're a ticking time bomb. If somebody passes you by on the street, whether you're driving or you're walking as a pedestrian, and they just said one small little thing to you, if you had a Glock, you would have used it. Because your verbal expressions have allowed me to see the very guts of you that one would have to open you to look at, because it comes out from your mouth. It shows in your body attitude. The persona is all over. And that's what it does in the home. In the marriage life. Not because I came down to Jamaica, I came to Nigeria, I came to another country to bring you over into, let me just say USA, or bring you over into Europe. You didn't change while you were in your country. I took you just the way you are. And now you are floated over. And now you come over. You play your character so nicely. But it was not for the twain. And when I use the word twain, it is from the Bible text, not for the two of us, but for just you alone. How come and how did we get this far? We come to a stage in life now that it seems as if I can write anything about my husband on Facebook. I can go to the church and lie about anything about my husband. I can go in the market square and announce him to be a crook. I can do anything. And people will believe me. Because at the ending of the day, it's my word. I can go before the court and swear and swear and swear to tell who's know what truth. Kiss even the Bible, the Quran, and still tell lies. And our conscience doesn't seem to prick us. Because it's our word. We are doing some things these days that I don't even know how to put words to it. But it's degrading. When we as you man, you woman then, you man, you woman, can change our appearances faster than how we change our smile to a cry, something is wrong with us. Our characteristics sometimes don't even match us because we have outplayed it in so many ways. It's like back in the school days as a child, it said, oh, when you're at school, you behave so nicely that nobody would think at home you're the little tyrant at home. Or when you get on the street. You know, when I was growing up, they said, there was a principle that it said, in your school uniform, don't misrepresent the school. So that means you would wait until you get home. You take off your school uniform, and if you had somebody behind to whoop, you can go back and whoop them. That wasn't really it. But these days, in the uniform, they've done all these things. Why? Because we have revealed them in the home. We've revealed them through the marriage. Our marriage life has become opposite, and the children have become demonized. And they've taken out of the home and bring it out there to the streets. And our angels are not what they seem no more. When they get out there, even in front of you, they change faster than a chameleon. Because our homes are in a deep problem. I don't say your home can be very good, but our children can learn the practical out there by them, but with their friends. But in your home, something in our home have caused our children to nudge on the outside. The way we deal with matters in the home. I'm not a perfect mother. I'm not a perfect grandmother. I'm not a perfect great-grand. But I've learned these couple years, I must say, that I've got to watch everything that I say and what I do. I can't change the past. That's for real. but I can change my mind. I change my mindset to how I view others, because that's how I want to be viewed. I can't stop you from disliking or disagreeing with me. But I have to teach myself on a daily basis that I can't change your mind about me, but I can change mine towards you. The homes have become rotten. Women are lying drastically against their partners and vice versa. Because it is in the whole world that the men are the abusers. The men are the aggressors. They are the abusers. A lot of us women are getting away with double blue murders. And we think that it's good. The first ladies in the church, many of them don't know their roles in the church. Just like the mistress don't know a role beside the mister. The boys don't know their roles beside the girl. And the girl don't know their role nowhere at all in society. Our home is the problem. We need a real good reality check, as Apostle Clark said. A real good reality check. If a lot of us would have put up a CT camera in our home, allow somebody to put it there for you so that you yourself won't even know exactly where it is. And then at the ending of 1 month, not even say 1 week, you won't know when they put it in. You don't know where it is. You will find yourself tripping. You will literally find yourself tripping. Because when you get on the phone, to have that combo. I saw Apostle Clark cooking today. Oh, that thing that she cooked, I did not like it. But you never taste that. I called the bishop today, and you don't know anything. You're assuming, and your assumptions are incorrect. We find everything to say, and that's what in the house. I'm talking about the marriage, Even though I bring all other scenarios, I'm talking about your marriage, your home. You who have pick up and bring here. You who have left everybody else because I've been married and remarried and shuffled around to find love. And because I can't find that one that ticked my heart so much, I come back to my own land to bring over my ribs, or to be the ribs of that person. And now we have a problem. Too much people are calling out wolf when there's no wolf. And there are people out there that don't, you see, they said on the meta, that we have meta check, facts, the checking facts. Sometimes we need some of those fact checkers in our homes. Those people who are helping, and I don't say it's not needed, to help those who have been abused. We need some fact checkers. We need some detective to really look to see, to find real hard evidence. It's like you have the hardware and you need the software to put inside. We need some hard software, because a lot of times I realize the men are going down and women stand to gain. Women are going down and men stand to gain. Thank you for watching it, Madge. And it keeps on going. You see, the only accuser of the brethren that I should be hearing about is Satan. And it seems as if many of us become his agent. So we like to be the bully, to abuse everything that comes around us. You're tearing down lives, and it gives you a smile on your face, as if you've win the jackpot. It's like you went to Las Vegas and you just clap everything, and you're coming back home with all that is needed for you to cash out. Your homes are in problem because why? You have become the problem in your home. Conversation no longer happens in your home because, he just doesn't want to talk. Can you not find the topic of conversation that will help the person to talk? Is that has always got to be money, 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 money? Yes, we got some dudes that don't like to work. We got some, what do you call them, some laddies, some ladies who just don't want to work. We got some women, they love to lie in the bed until midday. And we got some men out there too. Oh yes, they love to lie down till after 1 o'clock. And we like when we get up, somebody gives us food to eat. Many of us, we have a home from morning till night, and the bed has not been spread. The dishes of day before yesterday are still piled up, and flies literally are gaining access to the leftovers. This morning I went out and I came back. My husband has left after and gone to work. And I know that it's my duty to come home and freshen up the house. I've been going out because I'm going to school. So when I get back in and then I have other works here that I do, and I come back into the house, I know it's my duty. Because when he's around, he does it himself. A lot of times you people don't know how to delegate anything in your house more than just shifting blames and leaving carcasses behind. You come over. She bring you over. Or you come in. And all you do is causing havoc. You like to dress. This person call you, you like to go out. Oh yes, you want to heat, but you don't want to wash up. A lot of ladies, even men, don't like to take a shower. They don't like to brush their teeth. They have on the most expensive ear spoils. And sometimes the men just chuck in and chuck out. Just wash where to go. Some men, you pass them by, their body holder rank more than a ram goat. And so likewise are the women. A lot of you like to eat fast foods. So does the man. A lot of you ladies, your nails are so long that even me as a woman would not eat from many of you. Because your outside looks so good, but your inside is dirty. And so likewise are the men. If we would just come to the understanding that we both need each other to survive. And many of you, just like the men, love another man's wife. Oh yeah, just like the men. Many of you ladies love another man's wife. What do I mean? You like how she dressed, so you want to dress the same way. You like how she bring herself, you want to do the same way. She's slim, you want a slim trim too. You don't need another figure for the slim trim too. Because that was how you were made to be. Some of you eat so much that you get overweight. Yes, I'm said, eat without sin cast the first stone. So don't get me twisted. Yes. And you do this over and over. And that's your marriage I'm talking about. You don't even know how to make it work. You don't, the relationship you're in. Because he's doing this, you have to do it too. She's doing that, so I need to go do it. And we keep on going back and front. We are doing crossword puzzle in our homes. If it says syncret, it says up, down, sideways. We are doing it. We have become the tyrant in the home. I remember once seeing a thing on the Facebook where the man was lying in the bed, and the woman was showing everybody that the man was in the bed. That's how we have become. And the man was showing one time another woman doing the, these are some of the things. Is that how we groom our homes? None of us know better, but we can teach each other that which is right when we see that the abnormality has stepped into our homes. And you can't say, oh, that person is peering into your business. You have allowed your business to be open so anybody can come in and shop. You have opened it out so anybody can come in and look at your goods because they're on display. You have some in the windows that when I pass by I can see, and some you've opened the door so I don't need just only to look at from the outside. I can walk on in because we are open. We have destroyed our lives, men and women of society. We have completely destroyed our life, and we have put all this that we have gathered together into our children. So what we're seeing out there of a generation of children that don't want to have anything to do with us or to do with who we say we trust and believe in, we can't blame them. We can't, because we ourselves have messed up. We cried wolf for too long, knowing that there was no wolf. We don't even want to put a rain check and say we're sorry. Why should I say that I'm sorry? I'm big enough, I don't need to. I don't need to apologize to anybody. No, you don't need to apologize to anybody. But what about apologizing to your children and yourself? First of all, you got to respect you. Respect you in such a manner that when you go out there and you see another female like yourself or a male like yourself, you respect yourself so much that you don't want to use no word that will hurt anybody. But sometimes you got to clean up some mess. Sometimes you got to put your hand down in some toilet and get them washing because they need to be cleaned up. I remember back then when we used to melt on the floor with the brush and they polish the floor, and you got to brush that floor. Sometimes you got to get down there and do that. For those of you who know the coconut brush that I'm talking about. Sometimes you need to move some things from some corners and get behind the sofa. Get behind what we call the settee. Get behind the couch. And go behind to take out the muck. Because we have them there for too long. Sometimes we need to look under the bed bottoms to see if we have shoved some shoes under there. And now the shoes have grown with a lot of webs and dust. That's your marriage, that's your house I'm talking about. For goodness sake, gentlemen and ladies out there, continue on. When, not even if you catch 12. When you catch 12-year-old, you ought to know how to clean your room. You ought to know how to make a spot check. It's not only the cars on the street that they go to see a spot check to see if they were parked in the right place or they have something wrong with the car. A spot check should be done in your house, in your kitchen. The way you talk to your spouse, the way you talk to your children, the way you disclose conversation about your relationship to others. You want to go to the church or you don't want to go to the church? You want to go to the church or the pastors? Even the pastors are messing up. I'm talking about the home. Your life is not what it ought to be. And you know it, and I know it, and they know it too. Your children in your house are having problems and they refuse to talk with you because why? You are the news reporter. You are more than a journalist from your own house. Your house is on a rocking axle. And you are in it. You're the one that are causing it to rock. You are the abuser a lot of times in your own house. And you know it. The way you open your mouth and pronounce the word to the man is enough to send a car tire go flying. It's like you're on the highway and driving. That one word just make one tire fly off, east, west, north, or south. Because you don't want to change. You're too big. You're too proud. The only destination you have is your clothes. The only destination a lot of you have is the makeup that you put on your face, the nails that you put up. And it's good to look good. But when you become an abuser, go out there, you got a shot to drink, you drink 10 instead of 1. And tomorrow morning, your house, you ain't got nothing to give your kids. The old lady that you have in your house that you call your wife, she can't even ask you anything because you start shouting, she starts shouting, and they said, and the whole house becomes a radio station. When will we stop doing this? The other day I was watching this gentleman here. What's his name again? See, I don't even care for people's business. I was watching this gentleman. He plays in the Pirate of the Caribbean and his girlfriend. I forgot the man's name. Not to show you, I don't even care. But I saw it came up on my phone. And I was like looking into the lady's Ambra and the man is, I forgot his name. If anybody remembers, they can tell me. And I was listening to their scenarios of abuse in the house. Johnny Depp, an Ambrose something or another. And I was looking at the scenario, what was playing itself out in a courthouse. This was supposed to be a marriage. And now it becomes a football match. And who was lying on who? And who was telling not truth from who? And who was swearing on the Bible from who? It was all there out. And this is what we have in our home. A man marry a woman, he bring her over. Sometimes they bring you over because they want a slave or a maid or a hand worker in the house. You bring over the man because you need a genital erection or something of a sort, and you know it, and I know it, and you bring him over because you think that the others can't do what he would do, and you bring him there, and then you start the whole construction work in your house. And because the construction site is not finished, or the work is not finished, you have a whole lot of theory in your house. Because why? The bulldozer is making noise. The men are throwing up the cement and they're making noise. The crane is making noise. And everything is there making noise. And that's your home I'm talking about. You see, we don't know how to run our homes. None of us do. But we can learn step by step. We can learn to be a better house. We can learn to love each other as we ought want somebody to love us. It's good to tell a man you love him and meant it from the depths of your heart. But to jump over the balcony because you love him, that's going a bit too far. It's good to tell a woman that you love her. Show her that you love her. Likewise, women, show him that you love him. But don't commit suicide on the part of the love. And while you are loving, you see, while you were loving the man, you became the mother of his children. And now the marriage is over, or the relationship is over. And now you are saying, he is this, she is this, and they are this, and those are that. So, what happened when you were loving? Why now come out and there is a discrepancy against him? And you are saying it out loud. While you were together, was it not there? If you don't trust the man, take a check of yourself also too. If you don't love the woman, check yourself too. Because if I hate the man, the children that are the offspring of the man, you can't love them. And that's reality. You can't love them. You did not get them through rape to say you detest the man. You did not know you were with him. Maybe it's a jack up. You were jacking up a car and you get the child. Or you were there and you just got the child. Or you were living together, you got the child. It doesn't matter how the child came. You hate the person or you hate the actions. Which one? Because if you hate the person, you cannot love the offspring. If the man takes you up with 15 kids or 25 kids or 30 kids, and he loves you, but he doesn't love the children that he saw you with, you got a problem. You got a great big problem. You got Grand Canyon in your house or in your relationship. Because something is going to be wrong. In our homes, at times, even the fathers are on peak watch. Because the way I always see things these days, the child is in the palm of the game. Can be abused by the mother, can be abused by the father, can be abused by the man who steps in, can be abused by the uncle, can be abused by anybody. And when I say child, it's not just the girls. It's just because the boys don't say nothing. I'm telling you the truth. You know it. Just because the boys don't speak. So abuse in your house is because of you. You don't listen. You have too much argument. You don't know how to reason. You're always on the war path. You see, a lot of you don't play football, but you're on the defense. A lot of you have never built a house, but you become carpenters and masonmen or bricklayers, or you're there, but you're not looking at the details. And when you hear something, you don't analyze it and see to get evidence. You jump out and you quack quack, and then you're in problem. Your marriage, your house, your home. Whether you're married or not, I'm talking about the home. And the same way applies to the church. You're 30 and you are a high-ranking clergyman. 30 years old. Somebody needs to talk to me. You're 30. And you're a high-ranking, very high hierarchy already. I need to know where you're coming from. You're married. But you treat your spouse like a slave. I need to know where you're coming from. I need to know who groomed you. Who is grooming you? Our children in our homes, our babies, can't trust us. They can't trust us in deed nor in act, nor deeds nor words. They're afraid of us to the extent that they decided to let you be afraid of them. You need to tell me what's wrong in your house. Your house is like a dungeon. It's tormented. Like everybody's on a chain. And that's your house. You are in the house. You are part of that house. You make up that house. You were there from the day one before they came along. And now you're out of control. Your house is on a rocking ox. You have no speech, no language, and your voice is not heard. You can't talk to nobody because you're ignorant and you allow yourself to feel stupid. Nobody let you be. You yourself cause yourself to be stupid. Hello, my beloved evangelist Green. You have made yourself become stupid. You literally bind yourself to stupidity. And you can't speak, not even to your I've seen people can't even speak to their grandchildren. No, they have no manners. Nothing is working. You see, I don't know it all. I had to learn. I had to learn it at a really tender age, though I failed along the line, but I've learned my lesson. There was once a man who says, you can't take up your expensive car and give to somebody that has no license to drive and expect that they don't even learn nothing. Just give it to somebody that have no experience in driving. No experience at all. They never drove. They never sat behind the steering wheel. They have no license, nothing. And you just took up your luxurious car. You just give it to the person. The same way a lot of us today have given over our homes, our marriage life, the life that could have turned into a married life. We have given it over. And then we sit aside and watch it drive down into Grand Canyon, and then you sit down and say, oh, it's life. You're tripping. You're tripping. A lot of men, I realize, they love women that are married. Not already. You're married. You're still, not like you're married and divorced. You're married. A lot of men love women like you. A lot of you women cats 70, 80, and you want the boyfriend to be 30 and 40. You're tripping. Some of you men catch 40, and the clothes you have on, I think you've robbed the cattle to put it on. You're tripping. Because how can a man 40 years old be dressing like, and you guys know it, he's dressing like, his trousers is under his behind. His armpit, I am seeing it for some reasons, and his belly is out, his bulge and he's out. He's tripping. I don't say you have to wear swaddling pads and swaddling clothes. But some of you are really tripping. You don't know how to dress. So your home got messed up. A woman should not raise her hand to slap a man. He's not your child. And a man should not raise his hand to slap his extra ribs. So when this began to happen, you know that somebody's overboard. That's no longer tripping. You're overboard. A man who was sitting in his car at night and be watching a woman that he admired, that belongs to another man, another man's property. Let me just call it like that. Some of you ladies who are acting cold-blooded in the sense that you know that he has another person, but you want to be the fifth in the barrel. You're a crab, because you will always be under the bottom. We've all been there. And I'm not telling you like I'm stoning you. No. I'm telling you because it's annoying and it's sickening and it's degrading. And with such mentality, we ain't going nowhere. We're not going nowhere. And we are bringing this over. We are sending it over to our children. That's a part of it, you know. We are sending it over to the kids. And this generation of children, they're here to whoop our behind. They're here to give us a good, nice whooping. And whether you like it or not, you see it happening. You can't talk to them. You can't tell them what to wear. You can't tell them what to eat. You can't tell them not to watch, not to do, nothing. With them, you have no voice. They're now dictating to you. And you better march. You see, you can't advocate for these kids. It's like they're the one no advocating to us. They're putting us on onward march, and we are marching. Because why? Our grooming has lost its value. Because our homes are in a mess. We dress anyhow before our kids. We speak any words before our kids. We gossip before them. We talk about Mr. So-and-so and Mrs. So-and-so. The way we sit down and put our posture and they see it. You go to the bathroom and they're in there. You don't allow them the privacy and you ain't got no privacy. Because though they're kids, and though you might say you are the one who's paying the home, it's your house, and they don't need to close their door. But you close yours. You got a problem. Yes, sir. The home needs fixing. We have mashed up our own home and blaming others. It's like taking the socks from the kids and you know that they needed to keep their feet warm. And you call the neighbors and you give the socks to the neighbors. And now you expect them to wear the shoes just like it is. Don't you think you're building up something? You're lighting a fire that you can't out? That's how you do your marriage. Because in the home, and when I said marriage, come on, I need some of you to get this marriage thing clear. There are those of us who goes before the altar and stake our claims upon the property that we have purchased. Some of us have lived together for years. And though we have not gone before the pastor, we lived together and we've birthed generations. And generation have birthed generations. So you have a home. And now your home is in problem. You bring your story from your home to your friends. You know, a lot of people don't even bring to families. They bring to extended friends. Not friends, extended friends. You go to your workplace and you discuss your marriage at the workplace. That is true, sir. Not everyone is in marriage for the honor of love. That's what I'm talking about, sir. That is exactly the topic of today, sir. That is exactly. Both male and female. Many have other intention from the beginning. That's the topic, sir. That's exactly. Even though you didn't start from the beginning, sir, but that's the topic we are discussing, sir. That's the very topic. I thank you, sir, for your input. That is the topic we're talking about today. And you blaming others for your own insecurity, your own destruction. You have destroyed your home. You have taken out the pillar from the house and you throw it outside. And I'm not talking about the pillow on the bed. But you take out the pillow from your house and you put it outside for the whole world to see it. And now you have a problem in your house. Your voice is louder than the rooftop in your house. And the children are seeing this. The children are taking this message of disunity in a house so that they can go and build their own house. And may God have mercy upon our children that when they build their house, they don't bring the disunity that they have already seen in the house where they're coming from. You become afraid of them. You have no opinion no more. You can't say anything to them. Because why? You have thrown away the trust. You have thrown away that trust. Oh, why are my kids not listening to me? Oh, really? You expect them to listen to the broadcasting company in their house? Do you expect your kids to dress modestly when you have become the nudist in your house? Do you expect your child to cook a proper meal in your house when all you do is enter every fast food chain around town? Do you expect your child to know how to cultivate the land when you yourself have never planted a tomato? Do you expect your child to know that to have increase, one got to sow seeds when you don't even have a bank account with anything on it? You have never even saved for that child. Your pastors look green from only the neighbor's side, but on your side, the grass is withered. You have the babies. Oh, yes. You've got the babies, but you have nothing saved in the baby's name. So, by the time the child gets 18 years old, you send the child out to be a part of society that is stagnant. As I said, he without sin cast the first stone. So don't get me twisted. One gotta learn to value the home. Learn to value your home. What is done in your home is what impacts society. It impacts your community. It impacts your generation. And if your home is distraught, if you ensure that you got firewoods and fire in your home, then you know somebody is going to bring more firewood, because that's what you gathered to make your fire. Male and females are destroying lives. The males are being abused and the females are being abused. And like I said earlier on, a lot of time you see people standing up, oh, the females are being abused, the men are abusers. Yes, there are cultures wherein the women are being abused. But don't take one scenario sometimes and see all. Because there are men, big macho men that looks like, oh, and they're roaring like a lion. But the lioness is dominant. And you know what? The lioness will be crying out, wolf, wolf, wolf. And people will stand with her. Because the man has lost their soul. And they have become silent. And I'll repeat it. The men have lost their soul and have become silent. I don't know if they've joined the silent of the Lamb. But a lot of male out there has lost their voices. They only follow the rapid. And they sit down by the water brook, saying nothing more. But many of us ladies out there, we are whipping and whooping horses. We are riding as when Ben-Hur was riding the horses in Egypt. And we are hitting them behind real hard. And that is causing the men to find themselves in a trap. And ladies, I'm telling you out there, the retaliation is not looking good on both sides. And men, it's the same way. You have been tearing down buildings for too long. Demolishing places, catastrophic all over the place. And the ladies are not going to stand and see themselves being drained. So there is a problem out there. So both parties are doing something that should not have happened in the first place. And I'm speaking from both sides of the camp because I'm neither on one nor the other. I'm saying the truth. We are covering up some things that should not be covered. It should not be covering up because wrong is wrong. Injustice is injustice. And it doesn't matter on which side it is on. When it is injustice, it's just injustice. I've seen men being put out of their homes because they have been said, they have been labeled abusers. And the woman stays in the house. There have been women who have been taken out of the house and bring somewhere for protection's sake because of the men. And the children are hurting. The children are hurting, and the reprieval, we are seeing it today because the children are not taking our action. Nothing what we say these days. We are becoming afraid of our own children that we have given birth to. Isn't that a disgrace? Because the house is in problem. You don't know who your children talk to. Your children don't talk to you no more because you don't listen. If your child brings something over to you, they're completely afraid because they hear the way how you both communicate in the house. And they know that I'm not dogs. So how are the people calling themselves dogs? Because dog and a bitch bring forth litters. And all of a sudden the house, they don't know where in the house they belong. Because the body looks like human, but one is a dog and one is a bitch. And the children know that they are not litters. And that is how it's going. The unity that once was has been destroyed. The man might say something, and I feel that I'm provoked. So I raise my volume up above the sky and shuttle the clouds in the sky so that rain fall down. And the whole estate or the village can know, or the township can know, or the community, the yard where we live in can know that he said something that destroy my peace. Somebody out there need to tell me what's going on. Yes, we are one, but we think different. What I don't like, he may likes. Let us sit down and have a convo between us, a dialogue between us. Where do I draw the line? So that we may know. He likes it hot, I like it cold, but we don't like it lukewarm. Let's reason together. He wants it that way, she wants it that way, and nobody wants it that way. That's what's going on in the house. And the children. You see, nowadays we have a problem with our children that we can't solve. He smoked, he cursed like a sailor. She sleeps around like a marine, like when whales are parading the sea. And nobody is willing to take the blame. And then the kids sit down and be wondering, where are we? Our babies don't get time to grow no more. Because the male's eyes have been plucked out, so they are seeing beyond, and they don't care if it's a boy or a girl. And the child grows up with a vivid imagination and decided to work it out, whether it's hot or cold. And now we are seeing it. When the home becomes the castle in which you want to live in, where peace and tranquility has room enough even to be improved upon. And you can sit down and listen to each other. Listen to love. Because your voices you will hear. You know, the Bible scripture says that my shepherd knows, my sheep knows my voice. That's what Jesus said about us. Look at it this way. When you stop listening to your partner's voice, you no longer honor and respect your partner. That voice that calls you in the fore, that make you twinkle, then you have butterflies and bouts and all this kind of stuff, you no longer respect it. The moment you hear that voice, it makes your body tremble with fear. It starts to push you away. You mind closing the door and putting a bar behind it because you become afraid. And that's what is happening in the home today. A man is a man on the road a lot of times, but in the house, he's a marionette. A woman looks like, oh, beautiful, gorgeous. Oh, she's goddess. That's how they proclaim you on the street. But the moment you open the door and get back home, you're even afraid to go home. Because you know when you go home, the only thing you should have around, what lacks from around a lot of women's neck like men, is a bell. So every move you move, the bell will let them know where you are. Your home is in a problem. Your marriage is on the onset of a rocking oxen. You discriminate each other every minute. What you saw in the first beginning, that you enter into the relationship. Now you think you're seasoned. So all of a sudden, the seasons have washed off. You're left in pure water to soak off. So it has no more flavor. Why have a construction site in your house? Why open the door to a tomb, to hell, actually, in your house? Why raise the volume so high in your house that you can't hear each other's breath or heartbeat? Many times, the only time you hear the other person's heartbeat is when they're sleeping. Because the fact that their eyes are open, you distance yourself in mind and spirit away from the body, that you hear nothing that makes sense to you. You look at the other, you see a liar. You look at the other, you see a scammer. You look at the other, you see a plus, you see a con. You find all the consonants, and you leave all the vowels aside. And that's what you're living with, a carcass without a soul. And those of you out there who really understands what marriage is about, come on and share your thoughts, because maybe I don't know much, but some of you have 32 years on your plate. Oh, that's like raw cut diamonds. You have organic out there. Even in the church, the lack of sensitivity towards marriage is lacking there. It's lacking completely. We're not encouraging people to stay in marriage. We're not encouraging anybody to get married. We're not, no, because a lot of times it seems as if the pastors themselves want the young people themselves, so they don't want them to get married so that they can have the flirt of a daylight with them. And those who have seen the appearance chasing down butterflies decided that they don't want to take that road either. Our community has allowed a lot of folks not to want to marry. Even governments have put you in such a way that you don't even want to marry because the terms is not in favor of one nor the other. Your tax gets high. If you ever get off the end welfare and one is working and one is not working, and you who has been working for years, you will not even get enough money to satisfy your own desires. You live like a prisoner. If you're on health benefit or something like that, you're stuck between a stone and a rock. There's a two difference there. What is happening? The terms of marriage is no longer seems to be with love, unity, honesty, and all that. It's just, I marry you to get what I can get out of you. And that's just where it ends. The church, many churches don't promote marriage. You're a bishop and you're not a Catholic priest. And you're a bishop, you're 30 years old, you don't marry, and you have 7 kids from somewhere else. And you're on the line in a relationship. Because why? The first one didn't work, the third one didn't work, and you saw your family that never had one before. My friends out there, we're in big trouble. Big, big trouble. And our children are going to whoop us. And whoop us real good. Because you can't talk to them about relationship when you don't have one. You can't talk to them about marriage when you never even have one. You can't talk to them about communication because you don't know how to communicate. You can't tell them to shut up because you're always talking. And when they want to talk, you can't listen because your ears are deaf. You sit down from day in to day out, you gossip about other people's before your children. Trust me, watch some videos of small kids and see how they hype in the videos. The words that comes from their mouth, even at the age of 5, when they can't even spell their name. And it will prove to you what I'm saying. He who without sin cast the first stone. But you need to learn something. Because trouble is lurking in your house. I remember some time ago when I did a video and saying that your house is in a uproar and what children would do. You are seeing it for yourself. I talk about how you don't put the boys and the girls to sleep together. You're seeing it for yourself. We're talking now about fixing your marriage, fixing your home. The conversation you ought to have with your spouse, with even your boyfriend, because you say it's your boyfriend because you have your baby father, because you have kids. Those of you who are here, please share this video, please. Share. I want the people to get this video, share it, and encourage them also to share it with others. Because we need to know. We need to know. We need to hear it from way down below that we are the one rocking our house. We are the one destroying our families. We are the one destroying the community. We are the one destroying the church. We are the one destroying ourselves. Nobody's coming. Nobody's sending anybody to come and put something in your house. You did it all on your own. Because nobody listened. Don't try to outdress somebody else because you will put yourself out of an address. Don't try to run after somebody else when you yourself can't even run to catch the bus. Your house is what you live in. And if your house is in trouble, whose fault is it? Yours. If it takes you 2 hours to get on your knee and you say you believe in God the way I do or more than I do, get down on your knees and talk to God. If you know of a big elder man or a big elder woman that has respect and you think that your house is in problem, then go and call them. But you have to discuss it with your partner first. Don't just run, go do it. If the whooping in your house is too hard, and you know exactly that you're the one they're pushing towards the wall, scream out for help before it's too late. Don't just sit down and say, oh, nobody would understand me. I can't understand. Nobody can understand you unless you give them a language that they can understand you. There are dialogues out there, not just argument. There are proper dialogues that make things work. Some of us, we are too argumentative. So we don't know the difference between the argument and the dialogues. We are doing the thing wrong. And we don't want to say, I did not know. Because you're afraid that people will stigmatize you and say, oh, I thought she knew everything. I thought he knew everything. Come on. Where? Who? When? Did one person knows everything? But together we can do it. Where 2 or 3 are, it can work. You can do it. You can change the course of what's going on in your house without flaring up a tantrum, bringing your high blood pressure way up high, bringing yourself to heart attack. We can do it. You just got to stand Any day I find the day that I would be afraid of my kids. Oh, Father God, don't let it be. The day I will find myself afraid of my grandchildren or my great-grands, then that is the day I know exactly that God is coming. And he's coming sooner than I can imagine. Then I need a round table talk in my house. A round table talk in my domain. Tell me now. You rear them. But you don't know how to talk to them. You can't have a conversation with them. And to those mothers out there who end up in the same nightclub, or sons or fathers who end up in the same nightclub with their sons, you're having a problem. Because you see, those who are after you, they're coming after them. And we are seeing it for ourselves. Because even when you don't go after anybody, people are coming after you. So just imagine, you're setting them up for a trap because you refuse to govern your house. It's not that they won't listen to you, but you took too long to make the step. But I'm news for you. It's not too late to start right now. It's not too late to save your marriage. It's not too late to save your relationship. But you gotta be able to say your side. You gotta be able to accept that you have made the biggest mistake. You're slapping the man. You're slapping the woman. I can't understand, and the other day something came to my mind, even though it has nothing to do with this, but I really have to put it in this. I was looking at the war in Ukraine, and I look at that the Ukrainians are not really fighting the Russians. And something just drawn upon me to realize that the same way in our house, we are fighting in our homes people who don't fight you back. We are fighting in our community for people who are not fighting you because of our insecurities. We believe that we ought to eradicate, externalize, destroy, distort, uproot, and throw away. We're on a defense to burn everything. And that's what we do in our house. Not because he is bringing in the money, he has no more big talk more than I do. Not because I am the breadwinner. She's the breadwinner, she can talk to me anyhow. In the first place, there shouldn't be any talking anyhow in the house. My word, it's my word. I'm the boss. Boss to who? Did you employ the person that you're saying you should boss? Sometimes even on the job. And not because they employ you doesn't give them the right to come. I'm the boss. I'm the boss. You employ me to do a particular job. Allow me to show you what I can do to the best of your ability, not mine, because the job is yours. Don't come around, I'm the boss, I'm the boss. And many a time, because you're the woman, and because, you have to do this because I'm the boss, I'm the boss. You boss over who? Those who push out this boss things, they are a lot of time very insecure people. A lot of times also call, I'm the boss, I'm the boss, I'm the boss, and they put out the boss business out there. They are the ones that are very insecure. They lack. They don't trust even their own self. And thus, therefore, they can't trust you. And so is it in the marriage. So is it in your home. So is it a lot of time even in the church. You see, these days you better look for hard evidence. To men out there who have fathered children and paying child support, I'm going to touch something that the women won't like. Those of you who are paying child support, make sure that you've got hard evidence to prove that you have paid that money and that person have received the money. And don't say, oh, I don't need no proof, it's my child. Yes, even in the house, the woman works in the house. Even though the man goes to work and you're in the house working, make your list of what you do in a day. The same way how he goes to work, you're cooking, you're cleaning, because you're not a cleaner, but you're cleaning because it's your home. You're not a chef. You did not go out there and get a certificate or a credential that you are a certified chef. Yes, but you're working as a chef in your house. Now you have the maintenance department. That's where you go into the bedroom. Write down too and show them. You know, sometimes you gotta team up in your house to show the value in your house. What is what? She goes out and she comes back with we call it in English, a pay slip. So you see how much you work. You in the house, as long as you know that you are working in the house. Not the ones who sit down and watch all the soap opera and eat the chips the whole day through and say you're calling yourself wife. You don't do anything in your house. The man comes home, you're not even finished this morning duty. Your house is in a disarray. You can't even find the chicken if the chicken drop on the floor. Your children's rooms are so dirty. All the clothes are dumped. If you have a washroom or something, the clothes stink before they are washed. And we call ourselves wives. And when people see us out there on the street, we are wives, but your home is in a deplorable condition. You see how you make your house bad. A lot of you are messy. What they call it, hoarders. You gather everything and bring into the house. Nothing goes out. You call yourself wives. You call yourself women. You call yourself baby mothers, ladies. You wait one time a day, you take a shower. You have a problem, a very great one. Your undies are not washed. Your bra is not washed. I can name out the whole scenarios because your house is in a problem. You want men to wash them for you because a lot of men are washing the women's clothes. Many of you won't believe that. A lot of men are the ones who cook in their house. They go to work and come back and cook. On weekends they wash, they put the clothes in the washing machine or the laundry mat, or they go out to the back door and they are washing the undies of their women. Some of you women are outgrown human beings. You need to be scaled from one side to the next. And then you're telling yourself that you are wives. A lot of times you women are coming to church. You don't cook no food for the husband to get home or the man to come home back and eat. Because you have to go to church to pray. Pray to who? Oh, pastor said we have to come down to church. Oh, we have to leave your undies swinging in the bathroom for the man to come home and to see. When you look at the sink in your bathroom, it's beyond recognition of chloride. It's full up. Because you have no time to clean your house. And yet still you put the blame on the man when he comes home and talk. Some of you ladies and gentlemen out there better do better. Because your house and your children are seeing it. Oh no, they're too small, they can't pack up. So they've begun to hoard the things like yourself. The kitchen is full of dishes and dirt. Even when you look at some of the bottles, they have dust for maybe 6 years on them because you have no time to clean. Because you have to run to work, run to church, and run to mind other people's business all over the media. And you are so beautiful. You will sit down and have a tutorial for the whole year straight, doing your faces. But your home is in a mess. And now you're saying abuse. I am pleading to all those who stand up for abuse, like myself, to think over this properly, what you are standing up for. To know the in-depths of certain things. What causes, I don't say anybody should put hands on anybody. Or to verbally abuse anybody. Or to threaten anybody or to kill anybody. But a lot of you need to learn. A lot of you need to see the loophole, what causes the confrontation in the house. You have a lot of women who, from morning till they don't work. They have no place to go and earn a salary. And all they do is gossip on the phone, or they walk through the community where they live and eavesdrop on everybody else's business, minus theirs. Yet those who come into the church, sit down in the church, but their home is in a problem, but they bring other people's problem from the church as if it's theirs. You have leaders that employ people that does the same thing. So your house is in a mess. Your marriage is in a mess. Your bed is defiled. And your children are going to whoop the daylight out of you people. When we hear children now start to stand up and saying things, a lot of you should not be surprised because you groom them in that fashion. You groom them in that fashion to do those things. You groom them to be monsters. You yourself have breed monsters because you yourself have become monsters in your doing and your lifestyle. You want people to listen to you. But have you got the chance to listen to anybody? Have you taken the time out to listen to others? Your ways are even past finding out. You have no morals. You have no standard. And yet still, you want others to listen to you, to follow your doings, and to lead themselves to be abased. It's good to take a break. Take a break sometimes away from the social media and get yourself involved in something that's profitable for doctrine. Profitable, stable. Find something creative that you and your colleagues can get involved in. Sometimes get out of the clique that you're in and find an organization that can help you. It doesn't have to be the same church that you're in, but if your church have an organization that helps to mentor, or what one of our bishops says, to coaching empowerment, to coach you in a way and a manner that helps you to get out of the stagnancy that you have put yourself in. It is the right thing to do. Yeah, I never learned this. I didn't know this. Yes, I myself can say a lot of things I do today, I did not learn them. I did not even know them. I had no idea that they were there. But I searched after wisdom. I try to let my whole body be illuminated with the word so much in me that I desire to be a better me. I desire to see our children be the picture of what we want them to be, not what we ourselves was like. I want to see them better than me, standing in better position than myself. It's a joy to when you can look at your own kids and say, wow, you've outgrown me in a positive manner. Not just flaring words that has no meaning to yourself, that nobody can understand its dialogues, but to show them that you take pride in what they do that is good, and encourage them to mount up, to explore. But if your house itself is having all the disarrangement, your house has no honor. Your name has no honor. Everything about you spells doom. And you're in for a big problem. You are in for a big problem. You see? You are in for a big problem, I'm telling you. You are in for a big problem. Everything you do ought to have some sort of foundation. Solid ones. Solid ones. You're a man and you're weak. Admit it. You're weak. You're a woman and you're weak. Admit it. You're weak. But doesn't sit down and tell you, I'm weak. No. Trust yourself enough that in your weakness, you are strong. You can teach morals. You see, now we have word like influencer. You can influence your own children. Don't allow your children all the time to be running out there to look for people to influence them when they have you. Because that is where the problem is. You're the father of the child. But the child can never tell one day that you sat the child or the children down and teach them something that has substance. You just curse. You yourself will bring yourself rugged and rough. You don't show them anything better. To be a better man. To be a better woman. And yet still you say you are the daddy. You corrupt their mind. You corrupt them so much with ignorance, impatient and lies. You throw to them idolatries, fornication. You push it over to your kids. And then you tell me that you're a father. You're I'm a daddy. Which one? For who? In which currency? You get your child. You never sit down one day with the mother and said, let us plan the child's future. And you say, you're a husband. You're a daddy. I'm a big boy. I'm going to roll with the big boys. No. You never one day even walk to the bank with the child, even though you have no money to deposit. Walk to the bank one day with a child. Walk into the bank. You show the child that this is where you can have millions put down. Go in, greet the security that the child can see. Have an exchange with the security that I'm here to show my child a future. But no, you don't do it. Oh, we're going to hang out with them and around there. Oh, I've got them G's sitting around there. Those are my G's and those are my N's and those are my D's. And come on. You got to do better than that. You got to do better than that. Sometimes you got those business meetings. I know it's a business meeting. But you can talk with them before you go to the business meeting and say, look, I got my boy, and I want my boy to learn something. I know the meeting is too big, but I just believe that if my son sit in the back here, and I give him a little car to drive on the floor, he will learn some sort of self-reliance. But no. A lot of you mothers, gosh, man, a lot of you mothers, you're sitting down doing tutorials on Facebook. You're gossiping, and you don't think that a child is learning from you the things you're doing. You decided to read the Bible, but you put the child around the other room to go play with what? With the devil? And you're in this room reading your Bible because you want to have some peace of mind with God. How come that be? How come that is? Put the child nearby so you can have a keen eye on the child, so the child can see what you're doing and reflect on what you're doing, that when the latter days come, the child himself can say, Mommy, let me pray for you. Some of you ain't getting it, man. You're only mashing up your house. Yes, the man is a bit slow. Sometimes he don't do the stuff as fast as how you do it. Well, yes, the woman is a bit laid back or some way or other, yes. And she didn't know how to do that, and you thought you know better, so why you can't treat her and teach her better things? A lot of you men just sit down sometimes. The woman cook, the woman wash, the woman do everything, and you just sit down and have your click. If you have a television, you just click, or you go one side and then you wait until the food is ready. Come to my kitchen, you will die for hunger. I promise you that. You can do something too. Maybe I'm cutting up the onions. You can do something too. Yes, we can stand in the kitchen. Yes, I don't say you have to be there all the time. We can stand in the kitchen. I can watch you cook. You can watch me cook. And we can do great things together in the kitchen. I can even let you taste a little and say, is there too much salt inside? Do you require a little more pepper? Oh, yes. We can do the kitchen together. The same way you want to do the bed together. We can do the kitchen together. You see how we spoil our homes? If you want to pray, you're heading to the next room and the man is it for what? Grab the man's hand and said, come, let's kneel on the floor. Hold on to his hand. Say, honey, you can turn off the telly a little bit and let us talk to the one who brings us together and who shepherd over our lives and who was watching over our kids when they go to school, when they're on the football field, when they're out there standing by the gate side, or when we send them down to the shop. We don't know what's going to be on the road. Hold his hand. Hold your wife's hand. And say, come, let's talk to our Maker. Because we didn't create ourselves. Our mama didn't create us. Our daddy didn't create us. Or maybe that sperm donor did not create us. So let's find a means and a way of how to overcome the poverty that we are living in. The undecided decision that we take sometime. Let us talk to our Maker. We know we don't go to church like the others do. But we sure know that there is a God. So you know what, honey? Let's hold hands together. And together you hold hands and you pray the simplest prayer you know how. And before you know it too long, your relationship works. The marriage works. The element of fames and fables in your house will disappear. And the tranquility of God, peace will come down in your house. Sometimes your wife is sick, sometimes you are sick, the kids are sick. And the time you're running all over ilter-skilter to cry out to people that don't even understand your pain. Hold hands together. Put the child betwixt you and the man. And tell God, I know we didn't do it to get him. Because we would have been doing it all along and maybe we wouldn't get him. But Lord, I know you're in here with us. Talk to God, somebody. You see, a house is a home when you come together in it. It's a palace of love and honor where the tranquility of peace comes in at the cool of the day so that you can have a home right here on earth, in your community, in your country, where you reside. But no, you tear down, you've malted one murder after the other, controversy upon controversy, and you let go the beast to fight the dragon. How do you expect your life to be changed? You run all over to find the sorcerers, the wizards and witches, hoping that they would come in to sanitize your house with more demonic forces. And you think that your house is in order. You've gone to your friends, you've gone to your family to discuss the wife that you yourself have chosen. Even if they were the one that chose the wife for you, you have accepted her as your wife or your baby mama or your intimate partner to do whatever you want to do front and back. And now you have a problem in your house and you're blaming others. How can that be? Bring yourself out. Draw yourself out by coming together with your own self then, and to acknowledge with your own self, I have made a mistake and I'm sorry. Sometimes you got to look at your partner even when you know that you have not done anything wrong. And look your partner in the eye and say to your partner, honey, sweetheart, darling, my bone to my bone, I know you are wrong, but I am sorry. Oh yes. I know your mouth smells like you need Listerine. I know sometimes smells like it's a toilet. Yes, but you're still my other half, and your ways don't always match with my ways, but I'm sorry. Oh yes, you can tell them it like that. Oh yes. Being honest with your word without being vulgar. Being honest with your word without driving fear. Be honest with your word without flaring up so your volumes get too high. That you become a noisemaker. Softly and tenderly, you can talk to your partner and say, I see we're going down the wrong road. Something with us is not going the way it should. Let us analyze what's wrong with us. Or honey, you write a letter to me and I write a letter to you. But don't feel bad if I tell you the way how I feel. And I won't feel bad when you tell me exactly how I am. Because honey, I love you. And you write a letter to each other. You put it at a place and you put it at a place. So when you're inside and you think, you pick it up and you pick it up and you read. And then when the day time comes, you fix a time frame when you get back together and sit down again and discuss it. And you said, honey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the aches and pain that I've caused you. But don't make vows you can't fulfill. Not saying I'll never do it again. Or I may never said those words again. But within your heart, you gotta really mend those words to yourself. And tell yourself, I want to be a better me. And look him in the eyes and tell him exactly how you feel. When you saw me, we loved each other. We had a wonderful time together. What has gone wrong between us? Where did we go wrong? What did I say that caused so much hatred among us? You can't put it one side because you also too can be filled with a lot of hatred against him because of the way he treats you. So you got to let it be neutral. And bring yourself together to the point where you can reconcile with each other and love each other. And then both of you get up and go, whether outside kitchen, inside kitchen, it doesn't matter. As long as it's a place where you can cook together. Not go buy food, cook together. You cook the food, he cook the meat. You cook the meat, he cook the food. And you sit down together and share to each other. If you do these things I'm saying to you, you will see the richness in your home. Both men and women. I'm not being biased. I'm saying to you just how it is. He could have been roaming the world. And his spots are all over the planet. And your section can be all over the other side. But together, you can do it and make it work. And when you have done that, bring the children into the home, into the place where you are. And both of you sit down with that child. One hold the other hand and one hold the other hand. And tell the child also too that both of you are sorry. Some of you don't understand this, don't you? Tell both of you, the child, that you are sorry. You're sorry for the abusive words that the child has heard. You're sorry for the way that you've treated your partner in front of the child. And talk to the child in a manner that the child will look on those things and said, I will not leave my home to go out and treat others like this because my parents said that they're sorry. You see, you caused the bully on the street. You caused your child also to be bullied because they saw it in the house. You've labeled it in the house because the child listens and learns from you and you and me and you. There's so much I can bring over. There's so much I can share with you to let you see that how you destroy your house, how you destroy others' lives, how you manipulate even your own self, how leaders have manipulated the church, how leaders have manipulated their own selves into thinking that they're doing the right. And sometimes also knowing that they are doing the wrong things. Maybe tomorrow I'll do something about the church leaders. Maybe tomorrow I do. Because I'm trying to get some stuff sorted out here. On the weekend, I'll be on the street. They got something called the flow market. It's like it's almost like a garage here, but it's not a garage. It's on the street, so I'll be there tomorrow. And there's no music can play there, all this kind of stuff there. So tomorrow I'll be there to sell some things that I receive and some things that I have that I want to get rid of, and to be there to earn a little cash for my pocket because I don't have money. When I said I don't have money, I mean I don't have any cash to spend. For my father is rich in houses and land. He holdeth the wealth of the world in his arms. Of rubies and diamonds, his coffers are full. But I myself at the moment, I have not cash to do that which I have commissioned myself to do. You know. But I just want to say this to all of us out there. There are things that you can do. There are ways that you can help your home, help your children. And if you have questions, you can always send me on my inbox. You see, you have to learn to connect to yourself. Whether you believe that there is a God or not, that's up to you. I do believe. I do believe that there is a God. I do believe that he changes lives because I am that testimony. In more ways than one, I can share my testimony with you all. I am a walking testimony of God's healing powers. I'm still there, but I'm God's living testimony. I'm there to know, I'm a testimony to show you that God does change lives. He changed even your vocabulary. He changed everything about you, your persona. He changed you. And what he can do for you, I know he has done it for me. And that's why I can tell you he can do even more in your life. More than you even expect that he can do. I don't say he's going to make you overnight rich. But I know that he can bring you along. So you won't have to be getting up trying, so you will fail. Because once you start doing and doing and doing, your doing becomes action words. And at the end of it, there is success. The challenges are great out there. They're great, but don't challenge yourself because of somebody's concept. Challenge yourself because of the concept in your life to be a better you. Challenge yourself to be a better you at all times. To show yourself before others that they will see that what you say is real and that God himself is also real. In your home, whether you're married or not and you're living with a man past 5 years and you want it to work, it can work. If you just live with him 1 year and you have kids in the home, it can work, but you got to you got to challenge yourself. If you're 20 years together and it seems like there's a rain cloud that is not a rain in the marriage, I said it can work. It can work, and it can change to be radiance once again. If you think that situations in your life is not the way it ought to be, sit down and analyze yourself. I remember one of my younger sisters, about four before her, younger sister than I myself, and she gave me a concept, and I kept that concept. She said, sis, to do certain businesses, you got to get an exercise book, that means a notepad and a pen. And the first thing you got to do is to write down your wishes. And if you're going to invest money, write down how many money you want to invest. And don't go over your investment that you want to invest. And when you get your goods, you got to make sure that you put down to scale how much your expenditure, so that when your profit comes, you may be able to see it. I would share that same topic with you because why? In your marriage, you've made an investment in your relationship. And thus, therefore, you want to see result. But just sitting down to see result won't help you to get the result that you need. You got to challenge yourself. You got to learn to build yourself up. You can't just sit down and wait on someone to come and to motivate you. You got to be your own motivator. Listen to the inner man that speaks to you. If you got $100 and you know that 10% you got to put down, you got to learn to put that 10% down. You got to learn after the 10% to pay what you want to pay. And also to put down another 3% or 5% or 1%. And the rest, you know that you can use it for whatever you want to use it. There are many who don't know how to calculate. And the mathematical part of it has unbalanced many of us. And has thrown us off our high horses. Or one would say, we become shopping addicted. It's not just drug addicted. We're shopping addictors. We become addicted to shopping. So everything we see in our eyesight, the money says go out, our cards say move, and we jump to the conclusion of that matter. And then at the ending of the day, we have nothing. Those who have even less than that are trying their best. Because those who already have is less likely to give you anything. Those who have a margin is less likely to give you anything. It's always those that are almost at the bottom of the drag is giving you something. And then many times you still want more because you do not know how to do your mathematical things in order. How much you spend, because you know you have not much to come in. It's not every time you have 5 that you have to spend all 5. Learn to save. Men come over, women come over, and they've destroyed that what they've seen, because they just think, I need more, I need more, I need more. When currency is being converted, it looks a lot in many places. It looks, real big, but it's not always gold where it comes from. On these notes, I just want to thank those of you who have listened, and I pray that you would also share with others, that they too may also be able to learn a little. And if they have questions, send it in. So on my next of this, or if you're interested to hear more in the topic of marrying someone from outside, bringing them into a country, let me know and give me some ideas. I don't speak what people literally share out of their personal life with me. That's for God and I and them who shared with me. So I base my topics on reality and not what is seen and was said in a different manner. So it's bring me your ideas, what you want me to discuss, and I'll gladly do so without calling names, bearing states or a country or things, but I will share it out with those. Evangelist Mark Kern, thank you for watching in. I'm not sure where you're from. Are you from India or Pakistan? Do share my broadcast if you do, be so kind. And I thank you all for watching. I have some things to do. As I said, I was out earlier this morning, and trying now to study some things for my school, what I'm doing, and then I'm getting some stuff done today and tomorrow for the weekend out on the streets. And wherever you are and whatever time it is, we've got 3:41 here in Zürich. That's for me late, not so mid-afternoon right. So I just want to thank you all for listening, and continue striving to be a better you. Be the best you know how to be, without bias, without grudging anybody for what they have or whatever you want to say to. Having no ought against anybody. And don't even be mindful if somebody have a ought against you. Be without sin, cast the first stone. Once again, this is the Archbishop out of Zurich, Switzerland. And thanking each one of you for joining in. Once again, grace and peace. Shalom.